and welcome to Blytheway Business News. I am Bonnie Hughes. Our guest today is Thor Exploration. They are developing Nigeria's first major gold mine. And here to tell us all about the company is Segun Lawson. Hello, Segun. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you again.
So you just put out some very good news today with regard to obtaining financing for the construction of this first major mine in Nigeria. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a major milestone for us. We completed our DFS in February, and now we've announced that we've secured from Africa Finance Corporation a $78 million financing package, which is a huge endorsement for our project, and by far and away the largest amount of money that we've had to raise for the project. But also the fact that it's a multilateral finance package. It's a debt component, senior debt component of $54 million. There's a streaming prepayment of $9 million. And what we're really excited about is having a strategic investor like Africa Finance Corporation take a $15 million US dollar equity position in Thor.
And like most major funds, before they invest, they do quite a bit of due diligence on the project. So they must have been doing some due diligence over a few months, and we're just waiting to see what the economics of the DFS were.
Yes, I mean, they started looking at the project when we were, finishing off our definitive feasibility study. They were looking at it when they initially reviewed our preliminary feasibility study and have spent around about 6 months in our data room and site visits and a very, very detailed due diligence process they've undertaken as well.
So now that you have secured this funding, are you going to commence construction soon?
Yes, the plan is to commence construction very soon, this quarter. The project now is 80% financed, or 85% financed. We will be looking to raise the remainder of the funding in equity as well. Sometime very soon, we'll kick off an equity raise. And then, as you say, it's straight into construction and an 18-month construction period, and looking to pour first gold in the second half of next year.
Well, this is great news. And you've also completed the preliminary economic assessment on the underground. So what will you be doing to progress that?
Yeah, in parallel to the definitive feasibility study, we did a preliminary economic assessment on the underground, and we only did it on a portion of the underground to demonstrate that there was this huge upside potential. And what we were presenting in our definitive feasibility study was a base case for the project. So now the onus is on us, providing we raise sufficient money to convert a lot of the inferred underground resources to a feasibility study stage, and also to grow the reserve as a whole through the construction period. So we'll be doing that in parallel with the construction. We're also going to be advancing the underground.
And when you start mining the open pit, when do you expect to start mining the underground?
So what we've modeled is a 1 year of open pit production before putting in a decline into the underground, and then the underground supplementing the open pit production from the second half of year 2 onwards, and increasing the production from the open pit annual production of 80,000 ounces per year over the life of mine, going up to about 100,000 ounces per annum. And the underground naturally is higher grade. It has a head grade of about 8 grams per ton, whereas the open pit is 4.2 gram per ton reserve. So, supplementing it with a higher grade increases the overall output of the mine.
Economics of the mine, that's very, very good, 8 grams per ton. You don't find too many mines these days with a grade like that. And also a project with 100,000 ounces has been difficult to find these years because there hasn't been a lot of money for exploration projects. So that is fantastic that you were able to secure funding from Africa Finance Corporation, and they are a very good strategic partner.
Yes, it's a huge, as I said earlier on, it's a huge endorsement also for Nigeria as well, because Africa Finance Corporation is a Nigerian multilateral financing institution, and for them, they normally lend into the oil and gas. They've financed mining projects outside Nigeria, and this will be their first one in Nigeria as well. So it's a great endorsement for us, but also for the mining sector in Nigeria to have this project being financed and being positioned to go into construction. And with the initiative the Ministry of Mines in Nigeria has been trying to do over the last 3-4 years and contribute to the GDP away from oil and gas, this is a great flagship for them as well to get that going.
Yes, that's excellent news. And now with regard to the definitive feasibility study, do you want to give us a little bit of highlights of the economics that it produced?
Yeah, the definitive feasibility study, the project had an NPV of just under 140 million. It's at 1,300 gold. It's a high-grade project that pays itself back very quickly in under a year and a half. A very low all-in sustaining cash cost, $662 per ounce. So that's in the bottom quartile on the global cost curve. And I guess what's really exciting for us is that it's had great leverage to the gold price. So 20% increase in the gold price, because of our low all-in sustaining costs, then the bottom line increases quite significantly. And these numbers are all post-tax as well. It's not pre-tax. So in Nigeria, where you have the incentives put in place, there's zero tax for the first 5 years of production. As a pioneer sector, we really benefit from that.
And it also has quite a good capex as well on the project. Yeah,
so the total project capex is $86.5 million. And that's not a huge amount of money. Like I say, it's a huge amount of money, but not an insurmountable amount of money for a company our size. And having the Africa Finance Corporation come in with $78 million out of that is really exciting for us.
And I assume that the capex includes contingencies as well.
Correct, yes.
And for overruns, because sometimes that does happen.
Yes.
And when do you expect to have the first gold pour?
In the second half of 2020 is what we're all aiming for. The construction, our EPC contractor, Norinco International, is doing this on a fixed price lump sum turnkey basis. And that's an 18-month period, which includes some contingencies in there as well.
Oh, that's excellent. So you've secured that in place, and now it's just a matter of getting all the equipment shipped over and started.
Well, the first step would be completing the remainder of the financing and then inking in the EPC contract. So we've signed our heads of terms and MOUs, and we announced in October last year and then in December. And then the final step on that, when we get the financing, would be to ink in the EPC contract itself.
And considering you're Nigeria's first major gold mine, I'm assuming the government has been extremely supportive of you.
They have been excellent. The government, the Ministry of Mines, they want to see this project succeed as well. And all our, they've done site visits on the environmental side. The project itself is shovel ready. We have all our permits in place now, and the final hurdle is getting this remainder of this financing done.
Yes, which isn't that much really. Like considering you've got the bulk of it done, it's a very good position to be in.
Yes, it's a better position to be in than we've ever been. But I hear there's no such thing as easy equity, but we'll give it a go and hopefully
excellent.
Get it over the line.
And so I guess over the next few weeks, few months, the news flow for investors and shareholders will be the finalizing of the equity financing and how construction is commencing. Those are the things that shareholders would be able to expect in news?
Yes, at some point in the near future, we'll officially go into an equity raise, and then we would ink in our EPC contract, and everyone will know the timeline from then on till first gold pour. We also have some great other exploration targets within our license in Nigeria. So when we do raise equity, we'll be looking to raise some of money to advance those. Any other discoveries or open pit discoveries within the license would hugely benefit positively the existing project. And also we have a second project in Senegal as well, which we want to also keep advancing to maiden resource as well.
That's excellent news. So a few things on the go, and we look forward to watching you progress and the company getting into production. Thank you very much for joining us, and please come back again.
I will. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us on Blytheway Business News. Have a profitable day.